Flashback.
My behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves.
So I remember what happened after Charlie Kirk died. So some people on the left said some unfortunate things. He comes out and says that he's glad that Robert Mueller is dead, and good that he's dead. So what happened to all that don't speak ill of the dead? So he's glad this man is dead, and I guess that, you know, his family, he doesn't care about them at all. This is how a sociopath talks.
She just responds with good riddance. Lindsey Graham dies, good riddance. That's what Anna Kasparian said.
But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children.
So ladies and gentlemen, we got somber news today. Republican Senator out of South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, has passed away. Now, obviously he had a lot of enemies. Now this, you know, is probably not going to be shocking to a lot of you guys, but people on the left are obviously celebrating his death, because why wouldn't they? This is par for the course. One of the things I will say that disappoints me, though, is to see a fall from grace via Anna Kasparian of TYT. So this woman is someone who I effectively on this channel been singing a lot of praises for, because she's abandoned the left because she saw how they reacted to when she got mugged effectively, right? So she said the guy tried to, I don't know if he was trying to, like, basically was groping her, and she said his thing was hard and all of this stuff. And then when she told people about it on the left, they got mad at her and threw her under the bus and said that she was basically helping the right by admitting that there was a crime issue out there in California. Now then, because of personal experience, she decided to abandon the left. Now, she has kind of resorted back to some of her old ways, because as you can see on the screen, when Lindsey Graham had passed away, she found out about this at around 2:35 in the morning. You know, this, I'm assuming, translates to my time, which is Eastern. For her, it would be probably 11:35 if she's out there in California. She just responds with good riddance. Lindsey Graham dies, good riddance. That's what Anna Kasparian says. This is how people on the left think. So she still has a leftist brain, guys. I take back all the positive stuff I said about Anna Kasparian, because we don't want, certainly on this channel, to associate with lunatics who are going to be cheering on death. Bear in mind, Lindsey Graham hasn't done anything directly to Anna Kasparian. Okay, so I know people like to talk about Trump and all of this stuff, and stuff he said, like about Mueller, a guy who directly was responsible for screwing over Trump and his family.
A post by President Trump from yesterday responding to the death of former special counsel Robert Mueller. He posted this, quote, "Robert Mueller just died. Good, I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people." Do you think it's appropriate for the President of the United States to celebrate the death of an American citizen, someone who's a Bronze Star, Purple Heart recipient and who served in Vietnam?
Kristen, I was with the President in the green room at Davos, and there was a video playing of the what may have been an illegal raid on his home at Mar-a-Lago. They are going through his wife's wardrobe, and I watched the look in his eye, and I think that neither one of us can understand what has been done to the president and to his family. We should all have a little empathy for what has been done to him and his family.
Very different from Lindsey Graham, a guy who you just disagree with politically. Continuing here, leftism account. Karma can't come fast enough. Just so you guys know, that account is a account that exposes the left, not an account that supports the left. So they're talking about Anna getting karma for posts like this. Someone else responds with, who doesn't have, they just have like an emoji as their username. It says, "You're a pig and everything that is wrong with the online space these days. Sure, don't like a man's politics, but this is disgusting." I agree. Anna Kasparian responds, of course, with an epic clapback that's obviously going to be mean-spirited. "Are you offended? Let me clarify. I'm elated that he's dead. Overjoyed." All right, this is who we're dealing with, guys. So, you know, all the stuff about, you know, Anna kind of putting her head back on straight and, you know, kind of cleaning up her act and not being so Trump deranged and, you know, just hating conservatives and stuff like that. I was wrong.
The fact that they have provided more aid into Gaza post-October 7th than pre-October 7th is something I'm very proud of. And if you believe that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is not doing enough,
the fact that they shoot at people as they're waiting in line for humanitarian aid. Dozens of people get shot and killed literally every single day, as they're waiting for food. No, I'm not gonna let you filibuster, bitch. I'm not gonna let you filibuster. I'm not gonna let you filibuster. You guys are totally okay with IDF soldiers shooting and killing desperate people waiting for humanitarian aid. You're okay with that. I find it so unbelievably evil.
This is what it's like once you get back under Anna's skin, apparently, because you don't want Hamas and Iran and Hezbollah to utilize child soldiers that they literally give guns to and use as human shields, because you have a better me surviving than them mentality and don't want them to just kill every single man, woman, and child over in Israel or in America for that matter. Anna Kasparian is overjoyed and elated that he's dead. So this is above and beyond even what I think you would normally see. What's crazy is that Anna has spoken out against this type of behavior before.
You must have been really bullied today,
My
guess.
behavior, my behavior is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior. I agree with you in that it would be very helpful to have the leader of this country want to turn the temperature down. And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out to death. How can you mock that? What is wrong with you? I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart.
What happened to that person? Where'd she go? I miss that Anna. But this is leftist brain. This is liberal brain. She's still a liberal at the end of the day, guys. Never trust a lot of these reform leftists, especially if they ever exhibited like these far leftist type of mentalities. Like at one point I was a Democrat, but I never really supported a lot of like leftist policies, right? Anna Kasparian, you know, I mean, she fits the mold, right? Like angry, bitter as heck, certainly not family oriented, doesn't want any children, you know, not a Christian, you know, like it's got to be like a baseline in this community, and that baseline is at least you at least got to be a Christian. That's going to be my starting point for anybody that I support in the conservative movement. You at least got to be a Christian. So now they got fake Christians out there and stuff, but that's what I'm starting with. She even said this herself earlier. What kind of monster? This is back in 2020, back before she started losing her mind and just hating everything related to Israel and Jews. What kind of monster things gloating about dead people is ever okay? I guess apologists for ethnic cleansing. This was when she was on her journey towards hating all Jews, but she wasn't quite there yet. Now she's well past the threshold for that and is a full-blown anti-Semite. Proof. Next post. This was posted June 23rd, 2020. Well, this was a response to her post that was on June 23rd, 2026, where someone told her, because Hezbollah, I think they had a ceasefire between Iran and Hezbollah broke that ceasefire, or between Israel and Hezbollah, excuse me. So this guy, Nick, says, Hezbollah launched drones and killed 4 IDF soldiers during the ceasefire, and so Israel responded, because Anna obviously sees Israel is always wrong, basically. In a response, should have been more than 4 soldiers dead. If they don't want to get killed, they should get the F out of Lebanon. And yes, I said what I said. Now here is what is obviously super wrong with this. So let's say Anna one day does have it. She slips, you know, the birth control didn't work, you know, the tubes got untied, whatever happened, okay? She has a kid, they grow up, they're more patriotic, they're more conservative than she is, they join the military. They get sent to some war. They really don't even support the war. They get sent to it. They get killed. And then some a-hole politician / political commentator comes on like, hey, you know what? I'm glad your son's dead. He should have never been over there. That's what this dummy sounds like. You don't know who these 4 IDF soldiers were. They weren't leaders of the military. How is this any better than people who say, hey, you know, I mean, hey, if kids get killed in Gaza, Iran, who cares? How is this any better than that? This is why it doesn't make sense. And of course she doubles down on it because Anna Kasparian doesn't care about anything that doesn't affect her personally. I was forced to delete this post because you whiny little skanks mass reported it. Who said whiny little skank? I stand by the post 100%. And I thank you for reposting it. Okay, so she was forced to delete it by X, and some people obviously are reposting it for evidence. But guys, here's what's crazy. You know, this lady's right hand, Cenk Uygur, is probably going to have a freaking heart attack any day now. He could go really at any time. He's getting older. He's always crashing out. He's obviously got high blood pressure. He's a fat slob, and he's always crashing out from being just angry, going on Piers Morgan, just yelling and screaming at the top of his lungs, which has got to be bad for his health. And he could die at any point, and then people will come on and start roasting him, saying, oh, haha, look at this loser dead, probably for revenge against Anna. Is it going to be funny then when people celebrate Cenk Uygur's death? Is that going to be okay? You know, because people don't like him and his support of basically terrorists and him being an anti-Semite. What's crazy is I actually think Anna has kind of surpassed him in terms of being an anti-Semite, believe it or not. Crazy, right? But I actually think so. Because Cenk doesn't post stuff like this. He might say crazy stuff, but Anna posts it and doubles down on it. And when you put it in writing, you really freaking mean it. But, you know, Cenk, like, some of his stuff is fake because he's a fraud. But Anna, I think she's more honest and real about who she is. My take. But this is a obviously poor representation. It shows me that she has a long way to go still as a human being. And why one of the reasons why, look, I think I'm gonna be way more choosy going forward, way more picky, and I'm gonna straight up gatekeep the crap out of the conservative movement, not just the MAGA movement. MAGA pretty much ends when Trump is out of office, but the conservative movement, oh yeah, no, everybody not welcome, because you never know when people like this, if people like this manage to some kind of way say, well, I support certain things conservatives stand for, and then get in office, imagine what type of person that we could possibly be dealing with.
You made that
but
clear.
You can't on one hand,
all right.
You can't on one hand talk about the injustice of what Hamas did and then turn around and say it's okay if Israel does it times 1,000. Okay.
If you trust people like Anna Kasparian and her ilk, people who are kind of in the middle, but then they want to have full-blown crash outs on things like Israel or Lindsey Graham or anybody who they don't like, I don't trust these types of people, even though I really can't stand the left and the fake news, and this channel is dedicated to exposing them. You never heard me say it's dedicated to hating them, because then I could wind up being a lunatic like this. Like, yeah, if somebody I don't like die, Scott Pelley, CBS 60 Minutes, CBS's 60 Minutes, Jim Acosta, Joy Reid, one of them dies, like, yes! Got him out of here, burn in hell. Like, I don't believe in that sort of stuff. Okay, fired, haha, you got fired. But dead, that's a whole nother level and a bridge that I'm just not gonna cross. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Shout out to my members, patrons, and fellow anomalies, Cyber Noodle, 655, The Great, Bella Scott, Carpentier John, and Pinecone 6. I appreciate you guys every single day.
What are your thoughts about Lindsey Graham this morning?
Well, it's devastating. I thought he was fine. He called me last night. He just got back from Ukraine, and he had a great trip. He was telling me about the trip. He was pushing very, very hard. You probably know he wanted to do the Save America Act. That he was talking about that. He was full of vim and vigor. He was tired. He said, I'm tired because it's a long trip. But other than that, he was fine. And he called me, I guess, just moments before, because he called me like at 6:30 or something, and the medical people got there a little bit later, right after that. What a terrible loss it is. He's a great politician. He was a natural. There are very few of them. He was a natural politician. Got along with everybody. When he didn't, he was very tough. He was a tough cookie too. But he got along with everybody.